Hey everybody, I'm back, and guess what? I'm back to trapping. Guess what we're trapping? Beavers. So instead of putting my canine and bobcat line out, I'm trying to help a friend here because her yard is getting flooded. So you can see the beaver sign in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a drowning set right in here where it's nice and deep right now. I got my buddy helping me, standing by. Right, Willie? He loves trapping. You're a trapper doodle. All right, there's our swim through conibear. There's our caster mound with the bearded man on it. And over here is our drowning rod with the stick and the trap. And we're gonna go set one more on the other side of the pond. Over here we can see they're working on that tree, and this is their little dam. And I think the easiest place for me to set is actually right over in here, because they're working on the dam here too anyways. So we're gonna set it up right here. And I'm not gonna go over there again because Willie will follow me into the mud, but on the other side of the cattails I have another stick with a trap underwater. All right, we're at the next stop, and this dam is flooding this area near these people's home.
There's a basement with always a little bit of water in it. It's just not ever drying up. Got the sump pump going, dehumidifier.
I can't trap on the dam, but I have the drowning rod. It's very deep here, and the trap is right down in here. You can kind of see the chain, and I got my anchor in good, and we're gonna put in a little beaver caster mound right here on the bank, and it's close enough that they should just come over and check it out. What I like about this one here is these branches. So the only way to come in to smell this is right through there. We're up above the dam now, and the beaver lodge, I think it's right over in, no, it's right over there. Yeah. And anyways, this is definitely where they're coming up onto the bank, and they're chewing on some trees. There's one right over there. You can see that's all chewed up. So this is a perfect place for a conibear right here. You can see right between the branches there. They're definitely swimming through there. And for this, I'm going to get my gauntlets. So one thing I want to do is try to actually get in here before I get it too mucky and I can't see. And purposely didn't set this yet because I don't like to mess around with it after it's set. So we're gonna just cable off to this root ball here. And on this we have a quick link, or a snap ring, I guess you call it. Slide that around till it closes all the way. Obviously this trap should kill the animal instantly, but this is just in case. Gets them by the arm or the tail or something, at least they're going to be held here, and I can dispatch them when I get here. This trap has got a lot of use. Trigger's a little bent up. I have the trigger wired off to the side for when it's not otter season, but it's otter season right now, so we're going to go in the middle. But later on in the season, as a protection for the otters, the trigger goes to the side to allow the otter to potentially swim through the trap. And it works out sometimes. Sometimes they do get caught, and that's just incidental. Put that in the middle. Flip the dog over. I'm imagining they're going to be swimming from that direction in. I can see their channel right there. So I'm going to put the trap this way so that they put their head deeper into the trigger rather than this way. Okay. Probably could catch them both ways, but we're just going to go with the best chances. Safeties are still on. Hey, look at that. That's a good thing to notice. The cable Oh, never mind. The cable's not hooked to the ring on this side, it's actually hooked to the spring on this side. So all right, so we're gonna bend our springs up. Gonna take the safeties off now because they're gonna get squished. There we go. And I'm gonna try to press this down a little bit more. We're just putting some visual stuff to kind of block them through. Another stick across the top. And I am definitely going to poke a stick in the bottom so that they don't swim under it. I'm going to block off over here. And then I'm going to, this is a nice natural block there. I'm going to stick these in underneath so they don't want to swim underneath. Obviously, making sure I'm not touching the trigger. Perfect. When the water clears, that'll be very apparent. So there's a lot of brushes and stuff there. There's stuff in the way here. This is kind of a natural way, and it's the way they have been swimming through. I think just in case, I'm going to block that off over there, and then we'll go ahead and put a little caster mound in over here. Even just something small like that, kind of keep them going through there. I still like this spot over here, but we're not going to use the H stand for it. We're just going to put the conibear in the leads. And for this one, we have a nice tree right here. Cable off to it. This one has a quick link, which is slower than a snap ring, especially with gauntlets on. May have to slide out. Unscrew it. I'm switching everything over to snap rings now because snap rings, they're so much easier. And that one's nice and tight. I put a bungee on my gauntlets, which is pretty slick because, you know, they don't slide down at all. I mean, obviously it's not my invention that there's a grommet in these ones that was meant to have a string or something, but I find the bungee to be great. Alrighty. So you can see over here, just where the depth is, it's perfect for them to swim up to this caster mound we're gonna make. Here's something cool. We have actually a branch here, which we can put our spring right over. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. So we got that side nice. And then I'm just gonna use this trap stand to stake in the other side. And safety's going off. Again, when the water all clears up, this is where they're already traveling, so they know about it. But we're gonna go ahead and get some stuff here. Since these beavers are, we don't think they're educated yet, we're gonna change the surroundings a little bit. If they were educated, I'd probably be trying to be a lot more sneaky. Just gonna throw this over here on that side, and then I'm gonna get some dry stuff and put it over top. They're gonna wake up and they're gonna be like, who the heck has been here? All right, that's perfect. We're just gonna grab some of the muck from the bottom here, which is exactly what the beavers do. Make a mud mound. These beavers are kind of so new that I haven't found any of their caster mounds. But that's okay. If we do find one where they're already going at, we can set another trap there. So we'll take a little bit of bearded man, caster lure. That stick's not gonna work. A little stick here. And we're just gonna put a little bit right on top of that. And we're looking good. I feel like they can get in other ways, but they're likely gonna go these ways that we have set up, through there and through over here. Swamp for this one because this is a major run. And it's just shallow enough, deep enough that I can get in here with my waders. So here's another spot I really like, because there's a flat spot in here and this tree's going to block it in. So even if they go under the tree or they got to come this way, rather than use this wide open spot where there's, you know, nothing sort of guiding them, even though they're coming to the scent anyways. But I do like that it's flat right there, so, and it's actually nice and deep out here. Hopefully we got it in good there. Hopefully this is mucky enough here that we can get this all the way in. Might need the hammer. Whoops, I gotta make sure I got my slide. Slide is at the bottom, so most of my viewers know this, right? But this is Hagg's universal lock, so it can only go down, it can't come back up, and that's what keeps the beaver down. And this is the bearded man's little invention. I forgot what he calls it, but we're gonna put the trap right on there. It just makes it easy for us to set things up without having the trap dangling on there. All right, that's in there nice. Actually, I'm gonna get a little closer to the bank. That went in almost too easy. Let's see. Find a better spot. That's better. All right, that's in nice and tight. And then our little hook is right there, so we gotta get our trap set. It's gonna be another caster mound spot. Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
That is gonna block them from that side. Ooh, not much ground there. There we go. All right. We'll take our little trap attacher, send it through, all the way through, so the T holds it on. We got some beautiful mucky flat spot right here. In this case, I'm gonna put the trap. Sometimes I think about if he steps here and this comes up, it might throw his foot. But if he steps here, it's gonna come up on both sides and get him. I mean, I've caught him on front and back feet in this scenario, but we're gonna go ahead and put the levers this way. He already has some chew sticks here, so that's a little bit of an attractor, even though it's old. And we're just going to use a couple of little sticks to block both sides of this, make them come right to the trap. And more free sticks. Free trapping tools. Oh, there's a free trapping tool. And I'm just going to get one more bunch of muck. That way, this way, whichever way. The trap's right there. They're going to come up and smell this. So now we have 2 conibears and channels and 2 footholds. I'm hoping we get multiple beaver tonight. We also have 2 cameras, so we're going to put a couple cameras on these just to see what happens. Probably on the conibears, because we can get 1 camera on both of those, and maybe on this one right on that tree right there. Sometimes trees curve the wrong way for trail cameras. You're like, all right, got to use something to prop it up. I think that will capture it. Go a little bit lower. It's actually probably a little high. Sorry, gonna change it. I think this tree is gonna catch it better. I kind of wanted this one so we could see out there more, but this one looks right at the trap, so we're just gonna go with it. Try not to drop your camera in the water, Trapper Dan. I already had the camera in the jet sled at the last stop, and I forgot that the jet sled had holes in it, and it started flooding with the cameras inside, but luckily I got them just in time. That one's good. So what I'll do is just put a little stick behind it so that it's pointing straight down at the trap. Obviously make sure we turn it on. I already checked the batteries. Hey Willie, up, come on, up. Willie smells the caster and he wants to go check it out, but there's a conibear in the water, so I don't want him even going down there. All right, so, hey Willie, you're very good boy, very good. Sit, okay, you wait. So we're gonna, here's where the landowner wrapped the tree to try to save it from the beavers, which is probably working for now. They'll just move on to another tree, or they'll chew through this if they really want this one. But we're gonna use this tree for our camera because I want to see if the beavers go around and get to the caster mound and don't go through the conibears. So then we can see which way they went around and we'll readjust our traps. So it'll be interesting. We may see them get trapped and dispatched, or we may see them get around and then we can change our plans. This is kind of okay too. This is what you call eye appeal. So it looks like they have a regular path up through here, and the caster mound's there. Camera's on. This is Tessa, the landowner here, and thank you very much for doing all the camera work today.
My pleasure.
I'm here as a fur trapper. I'm not a nuisance trapper, but it's an open season, so I can help her from a nuisance, and I can harvest the beaver and use them. So Tessa asked me,
What does the scent, when they smell the caster, does that make them like protective of their space, or why?
Yes.
What does that do?
yeah, basically that's it. So the caster is their family scent, and they're usually going to their established caster piles like once a night. They'll make a tour around, and they actually mix their urine with the caster, and they use their back feet and sort of mush it all onto the pile. And anyways, yeah, that's their sign. It's telling all the other beavers, this is our place. And what we just did is we put a lure in there, which is a competitive caster. So it's going to make them kind of come over and go, hey, you know, who did this to my place? Yeah. And hopefully that'll get them to pay attention to the caster and not pay attention to the trap. So
Genius.
I got to go off to a meeting, but to be continued. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Willie and I are off to check the beaver traps this morning. Kind of excited. I'm thinking that the beavers that we on are not educated, so we got I think 7 or 8 sets out on 2 different colonies. So hopefully we scored. All my previous years I have been beaver trapping, of course with conibears, but also a lot with footholds. And I've gone from using the traditional cable slide to chains, which I like chains because they don't get tangled and kinked and tear up your hands and your gloves and everything. Like the cables just get really torn up and kinked by the beavers. But the cables are very light to bring in, that's for sure, and maybe I could get higher quality ones or something. But yeah, the chains just keep on working, and you can bring a bucket full of them in. However, my viewers out there, thank you very much, were telling me this.
Trapper Dan, you should seriously think about switching to drowning rods.
Thank you very much. Yes, this past summer at the Pennsylvania Trapping Rendezvous Convention, I met up with Jeff Haggerty and got a bunch of fiberglass rods. So we have them set up, and actually last night was the first night I've ever used them. So of course in my sleep I'm going, oh my gosh, is the beaver going to pull that out of the ground, and should I have wired the stake in too? And I have heard of them coming out, but I tried to get everything in really firm. So hopefully we have some beavers naturally submerged and dispatched. We'll see in a few minutes. All right, get the gauntlets on so we don't freeze our hands right away. Let's see what's going on here. Yep, we got one. Feels like a small one. Really small. That means there's a whole family in here, so hopefully we got the bigger ones on the next spot. Pretty good that scored though. I'm gonna come back and set this. I'm really eager to check the next spots. Morning guys, we got one. So this is a baby.
Holy, look at that.
It's a baby, but that means that they're establishing.
Oh, wow.
So hopefully in the ones closer to the lodge we might have picked up the adults, yeah. But pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So Willie loves to sniff them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
What's your name? Sid, okay, I'm Trapper Dan. Nice to meet you. So beavers are amazing. Obviously, the big thing that stands out is his tail. It's very leathery. You can touch it if you want. And inside, there's a thick layer of fat. People make wallets out of the tails, and also the fat inside can be made into fishing bait. It makes really good little jigs for ice fishing. And their fur, these are the guard hairs on the outside, and underneath is what's called the wool. And that wool is made into felt to make cowboy hats. And that's really like the best cowboy hats. Good morning, Lewis. How are you? We got one. It's a small baby, but we didn't check the other traps yet.
Wow.
And
it's a small baby?
Yep.
It doesn't look small.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the biggest I've gotten is 65 pounds. This is maybe 16.
His teeth are yellow.
Yeah, so he has these teeth that chop on that wood, and their teeth they have to continue to chew to wear their teeth down because they'll just continue to grow.
They're yellow.
Oh my gosh, really? So they would get even bigger if they didn't chew that?
If they don't chew, yeah. And a lot of people think that beaver eat wood, but they eat bark. So that's why you see all those little sticks are stripped of bark. But they will chop that tree down, so they can get to all those limbs. They love poplar trees.
Wow.
And what else can I tell you? Web feet for great swimming. They can stay underwater 15 to 20 minutes. These guys are what built America. I mean, this is what was trapped and sent to Europe to make fur coats and hats and things like that.
Wow.
It looks like he has earwax.
So let's go check the other traps. What do you think? You want to be a beaver trapper someday? It's super fun to be out in nature, and nature's encroaching on your house though, so we have to take care of that. There's a lot of swamp out here, so there's going to be a lot more beavers, and honestly, I can trap as hard as I can, but they may move back in here, and then we'll just get them again. We can control them.
This is the adult, the female?
I don't know the sex on this beaver until I actually skin it, but I'm suspecting, you know, it's definitely one of the adults in the lodge, in the colony. Yeah. Not real fat, but no, they get
up to
they get
65
huge.
pounds.
The biggest I've caught is 65 pounds. The I don't know what the world record is, but it's way up there. I mean, I think I saw a video of a guy getting like an 85 pounder. Like, yeah.
That's more than you weigh.
Yeah, you're 55 pounds.
Yeah. So I got to get off to work.
Well,
Me and
thank you so
Willie
much.
too.
It's been awesome.
Yeah. We'll check again tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll bring the chains,
Yeah.
and we'll set this one up, because I'm afraid it's too easy to avoid the conibears over here. Oh, I've got that one out there. I think I'm actually going to set that today. The one that, yeah, I got the setter with me.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for your help. So you just grab that side over there. Perfect.
All right.
Willie, come here. Sit. Wait. Good boy. All right. All right. Okay, thanks so much.
you, Dan.
I'll see you
Appreciate
tomorrow
it.
morning.
All right.
I'll probably keep coming pretty early. If you're asking why am I beaver trapping so early, there's a couple of reasons. One is kind of obvious. It's kind of an emergency for a couple friends who are getting flooded. Number two is it's a little easier to get on them right now before the ice is too thick. And number three is all my land trapping has hunters on it. And I'm trying to be kind to those guys and not disturb the property too much and let them get their deer. The last thing a landowner wants is people quarreling about their property, you know. So for me, it's really important to just work with the hunters. I send them pictures of all the deer that they can possibly get, and let's just let them hunt for a week and a half or so. So we're water trapping. While I head off to work, I just hang these guys in the fur shed so they can dry. And in the summertime, I picked up some fans from some yard sales, so we'll just blow them dry. And the baby. And the fan. And we got the wood stove going too. I think we got another one.
For real?
Yeah, let's check it out. This is the perfect spot. Remember I showed you how we have this like a Y here, and we just drive them right up, and there's like a nice little spot to put the trap offset right here. And I can see the trap is gone, and I think I see something dark down in the water. So we're taking care of your problem. Oh, it's another little one though.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it's bigger than the first one.
Wow, got one.
Yep. The little ones are definitely coming over here close to the dam. I'm just gonna toss this up there.
Whee, flying.
And yesterday I was so excited to check the other traps I didn't reset, but it's actually a better process here if I just get this reset before we go to the other ones. So the tip of the fiberglass is going down into the bottom of the pond, and then we have a stake here. Oh no, I lost my trap. Gotta hold on to the trap because it slides down so easy.
Oh, wow.
There's a stopper, see, so that's why the beaver is at the bottom, because it stops right
I
there.
see.
It can't slide off. For the trappers that are watching out there, you've seen I use cables and chains. One thing I'm noticing with the rods is it slides so easy. On the chain it slides too, and the cables it will slide, but man, on the rod it just zips right down, which is probably more ethical. Might need my hammer. Oh, Willie's okay?
Yeah.
All right, these are dogless traps, means it doesn't have a little piece of metal that holds the trap pan down. Rather, I don't know if I can do it on this log, but we'll try. There's a little notch on the jaw there, not a notch, but a little bit of metal welded to the jaw, and then the pan just hangs on to that, and that's what holds the trap open. And then I'm going to put it again like this, so that when they walk up and step on this pan, the jaws come up on both sides and catch their front foot, which has worked perfect, which holds them down underwater better than if it caught their back foot.
Yeah.
If you're planning on a back foot catch, you probably have to make sure the water's deep enough so that you can keep their head underwater. So I don't even have to put any new lure on this one because I can see it on my stick here. So I'm just going to bed the trap right under the water right there. Perfect. And climb out of here without stepping in it.
Yeah. Billy likes to smell the...
Willie likes to smell them. He's always smelling them. He smells everything I catch. When they're alive, he growls. I'm sure he smells the castor, but when they're dead, he just sniffs them.
Oh, his teeth are black.
Yeah, he's a little...
How long did you say?
He needs a dentist. This one was born this past spring, probably.
Yeah.
It's just its first year. Obviously, we have a mom and dad in here. I think we got the mom yesterday.
You got the mom, that's the big
Yeah.
one.
Sometimes what happens is the beaver colony gets bigger when normally the 2-year-olds get kicked out and they have to go find a new mate and a new place, and that's why you're always probably going to get beavers back in here because it's a huge swamp, and they'll travel and they'll find the perfect spot again. Believe it or not, I read something that beavers can feel the pressure of the water through their tails. So, oh, that's your pump.
Yeah.
It always gets me. I'm like, what's splashing? And that's how they figure out where to build their dams. They feel the water pressure and when it's changing, and that's how they engineer things.
Wow.
But what I wanted to say is the 2-year-olds are sometimes allowed to stay to raise the new baby beavers with the family, and then it gets bigger. So that bigger one we got yesterday might have been a 2-year-old that's just been allowed to stay. It wasn't really huge. It was probably 45 pounds. Lewis asked if these traps are like the...
Old-fashioned bad traps.
Yeah, and the mechanics of the trap is the same. However, today's traps don't have teeth on them. They're meant to hold the animal ethically, and in fact, wildlife biologists trap and have help from trappers to hold animals, collect scientific and biological evidence from the animals, and then release them. So no big teeth, and some of the traps are laminated, meaning they have thicker metal, so that, think about it, if something sharp came up onto your leg, it might cut into it, but if something more blunt comes up, it's holding it and it can't cut in. So things are a bit messed up here with the polar bears because your water went down as well. You can see that one it's still okay, like the beaver could come through there, but it's probably 6 inches lower water level. In this case, we have the safety on, so we're just going to pull this spring and it'll pop open.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then same thing on this side. The safety's on, but what I'll do is I'll put my setter on there and then pop it. So this one we'll take out of commission, and we're going to foothold in here. All right, so now we take our slide. And we're going to slide it up here to put our trap on. So it works just like the fiberglass rod, except that it's a chain. I like it here because it's more flexible and it's extremely durable. You're not getting away if you get trapped. And the trap has swivels on it, so it can spin around when their foot's in it. Has double swivels. There's one here too. I have some sticks and we have this natural blocking here, but we don't want to put the trap right in the middle because just like us, the beaver's front arms are on each side of it. So we're gonna go for the best side where the trap will lay. Looks like it's gonna be the right side. So right front foot.
So it could potentially just walk straight over it if
He's
it was in
gonna
the
walk
middle.
over it. Yeah, the other thing that happens is beavers are gonna swim until they feel the ground. And this is perfect here because he's gonna feel the ground. Sometimes what we do is we put a stick in front of this. I don't think I need to do it here, but we could put a stick in the water, even a small one. You can take just something like the top of this. Oops, see I messed up my little blocking. But we can stick this in the water underneath here, and what happens is he feels that with his belly, and then he starts walking, and the trap is right there. And just in case we're going to put a little bit more caster. Oh no, I see the caster right there, so we're good with that. The other day we also kind of blocked off this side. I'm not going to worry about it too much because even if the beaver comes up this way, they're going to go over and smell the caster and probably go down that way, and we'll get them. So I don't think the conibears are working so great here because the water level keeps changing. Hopefully the water level stays for that. So out here, there's a very deep channel. I got this one cabled off, but I brought the chain because if I catch an otter by the tail or something, they're a super strong animal, and I don't really think this lightweight stuff out here is going to hold them. And I'm not going to be able to sleep at night as an ethical trapper if I'm thinking about an otter swimming around forever with a trap stuck on them until they die. You know, that's just not good. So we want to make sure that we're anchored really well. I'm going to push it right down over the stand. We need the trap to have some resistance so the trigger works, so it doesn't just flop over when somebody swims through it. Perfect. Now I'm going to take the safeties off, and then I got this nice swim over log, so we're actually going to see if we can lodge this over one side. We're trying to keep them from swimming over the trap. And the beavers made this one nice and pointed for me. Wow, both ends. I think I'm gonna use the sharper end. We're just gonna go ahead and put this in over here. Perfect. And just kind of crisscross those right over that. Beavers that have never seen this square trap before will swim through it. And that's the deep spot right there. That's probably up to here on me if I step down in there, and that's where they're swimming through. And they haven't been really active this far above the dam yet, but we're expecting them. And this is, other than way over there, this is where your otters are going to travel through. All right. We have a Bureau of Wildlife nuisance control permit that the owner holds on this property, so we are legally able to trap on the dam. But I can see the water is way down, and my trap over here might be on dry land as well. It's actually right here. I almost stepped on it. So this trap is too big legally to be on dry land, but what happened was the landscapers came in and broke the dam. So I have to reset everything. Part of trapping is time. Come on, Willie, get out of here. Stay over here. And I have to get to work and I have to get to my next beaver stop, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to reset, but we're going to give it a try here. So what I'm doing here is just taking some of the dam branches, and guide that beaver into here. I'm going to build another caster mound right here. Sometimes I'm surprised at how hard the bottom of the pond is. It's really rocky, but this is probably man-made. There we go. Forgot my gloves, Willie, so we're gonna get mucky. So I put the card back into the camera and checked it there, and I can see the landscaper walking in here with a big stick or a hoe or something to pull the dam apart. So that really messed me up. And actually, it's against the law. We do have a permit, but in the permit it says that you have to let the dam go slowly, not one big wide open. So they just tore the whole thing open. All right, so we reset this caster mound here. We're driving that beaver right up in between these sticks. Trap is offset. I'd like to set some more here, but I'm gonna have to plan on that tomorrow. That'll be good. All right, Willie, we're off to the next stop, buddy. Over here, we don't have a permit, so we're not trapping on the dam, although it would be very easy for them to get one. All right. I think I see something dark down in there. Boy, this is a good spot. All right, let's check it out.
Putting a trap near the den.
Yes.
Big den at the end of the property.
So it's against the law for us to trap. I think we have to be at least 15 feet away from the lodge. So that's just part of the regulations. But you know, I'd like to trap them when they're out and moving around, not on the lodge anyways. I think a trapper with a nuisance permit might be able to trap on the lodge. A nuisance license. So we're down here because I'm gonna go out where there's a channel where is a really good chance to get a beaver that's coming through a tight, deep water spot, but also it gives me a chance to catch an otter. Because it's otter season right now, and I'm trying to be the complete trapper and diversify and make sure that I, expose my traps to different possible fur-bearing animals.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. We are checking this private residence beaver issue this morning. This is the one where the landscapers had taken the dam down, and those guys didn't know. They thought they were helping. In any case, I just reset 2 footholds here yesterday after that, and I had just had time to check them this morning, so let's see if anything's going on. iPhone, and I see the trap is still down in there, so it's interesting that this does not seem to be a real busy beaver place. It's like they came in and they started something, but they're not really here. Nope, that trap is still there. Caster mound is right over here. I've got a camera on this place, and the beavers have not been back. You can also see this pretty nice bobcat that came through and a little spike horn. Hey, I really hope that you've enjoyed this beaver trapping episode. It is so fun to water trap. You know, the best part about this is Sid and his brother, who I'm going to meet today. I'm able to show these youngsters about trapping, and that's the best part about this, because as we all know, they are the future of this type of lifestyle. Well, I had to go get the dispatch rifle because we finally got one in this place where the landscapers had taken the dam out, and these were transient beavers, but they came back. And it must not be deep enough, or we got him with the back foot. So we're gonna have to wait for this guy to come up and get him. There he is. Looks like a pretty good one too. I think it's our 4th day on this check, and every day we have gotten something. Feels like it. Yep, I think we got the big mama finally. Holy cow, that's awesome. My muscles aren't ready to work this morning. It's cold and wet out. I got it. Right back in the same exact spot. Well, I can see that my cross branches that we put in are still in the same spot. So that tells me nothing really disturbed this, but we're still going to get a closer look. So now we take our slide. So it works just like the fiberglass rod, except that it's a chain. I like it here because it's more flexible and it's extremely durable. You're not getting away if you get trapped. And the trap has swivels on it, so you can spin around when their foot's in it. Has double swivels. There's one here too. This is a little beaver trapper training, so not deep enough to drown in here. Decided to go with the chain setup, and they just wait for you. So we got another one here. This place is just loaded with beavers. I hope I don't catch all the beavers before we can get Tessa and Lewis's other son out here, because he's really interested, but he has to go to school by the time I come each morning. Another back foot catch. Okay, since they keep coming, we're gonna keep setting. Reestablish the caster mound a little bit. Good morning, how you doing?
And a big one.
Yeah, a little one and a very big one over there. So yeah, I had to dispatch this one with the rifle because remember we used the chain system because it's not deep enough out here. So he was sitting there waiting for me. And sometimes that's how we have to do it. Trapper Sid is taking the beaver out today. Want to put both of them in there and see how it feels? Now, let's see if you can pull it now. Oh, you're doing good. Oh, that's pretty good. We might make it to the truck.
I'm not gonna.
I have a feeling that you're not going to have... maybe you want to go over that way so you don't have to go run into the tree. You're not going to have any problems with the dam getting built up now. See, this is why trappers don't have to go to the gym. Because hauling beavers out of a swamp is a lot of hard work. Oh, the tail is, yep, they fight. So...
Sid was asking about that.
Yep, the tail got bit when they were in a fight. Really big webbed feet, yep. Yeah, that's probably a 50 or 55 pound bigger beaver and maybe a 25 pound smaller one, so.
Sustainable.
Natural.
Organic.
Renewable.
Renewable.
Resource.
Resource.
Good job.